Kupata lazima nishike kama skiza tune yako. Bonyeza *811 *962 hash.
Lazima nishike mapema. Nisipo mapema utakasirika. Unajua mimi nikiwa mtu ya marathon najua niko na experience kabisa. Niko na experience. If you don't hurry, you will not break the record. Okay, wacha nishike simu.
Kupata lazima nishike, bonyeza *811 *962 hash. *811 *962 hash.
Furahia maisha bora.
Boresha maisha na bima. Kuwa na mipango mbadala ya sintofahamu za maisha. Gharama za ghafla za matibabu zinaweza kutatiza udhabiti wako wa kifedha. Bima ya matibabu hukupa utulivu wa akili. Wazawidi wapendao hakikisho la maisha mazuri na bima ya gharama zao za matibabu. Pata bima ili kuhakikisha yote yatakuwa sawa.
The countdown to the 2022 general election continues. Poll results have started trickling in. We'll be telling you about the latest report by research firm and Infotrack, and we'll be letting you know between Raila Odinga and William Ruto, what is the situation like, who is leading, who is not, and what is the road ahead looking like ahead of the 2022 general election.
And tomorrow the curtains close on the 12th Parliament, as Parliament is expected to break for the campaigns. That means then there will be no business in the House unless there's an emergency. We'll be letting you in on the details, but most importantly, we talk about those seeking to succeed them and the emerging dynamics, as Serfine Achieng points out, and we hopefully are going to engage Beatrice Elachi. He's a former senator, nominated, a former speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi, now seeking to succeed Simba Arati in Dagoretti North on a no-DM ticket. We'll hopefully be engaging her in the course of this bulletin. But first things first, the highlights.
Securing Kerio Valley.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i orders overhaul of security teams in North Rift counties.
Road safety campaign.
NTSA calls for discipline on Kenyan roads as statistics on accidents point towards a worrying trend.
And
Raila Odinga in a slim lead over Ruto in the latest Infotrack opinion poll.
All right, once again, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Serfine Achieng Oma, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Mwaura.
And my name is John Jacob Kioria.
Now on to our top story. Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has directed an overhaul of security teams in Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo and West Pokot counties.
Dr. Matiang'i says intelligence reports indicate there are instances where police officers and chiefs in the counties have abetted cases of cattle rustling and banditry attacks.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i visited the families of 3 children killed in a bandit attack in Elgeyo Marakwet County last month, directing redeployment of security officers in Kerio Valley. In a statement, the CS noted that there was evidence that police officers and chiefs in North Rift counties repeatedly failed to act on information shared by credible sources, or in other cases, actively abetted cases of cattle rustling and banditry attacks in the region. The CS further pointing out that the shooting of school buses and the killing of children in Marakwet reinforced evidence that the conflict had little to do with cultural feuds. The review of the current deployment of security officers comes a week after a 30-day curfew was imposed in Elgeyo Marakwet County, with the CS stating that the command of the operation will now be placed under high-ranking security officers. The curfew has been imposed alongside a disarmament operation targeting illegal guns said to be fueling conflicts in the restive region.
And now Kenya's COVID-19 infection rate has climbed to 6.6% following the confirmation of 218 new cases.
The new cases were detected from 3,317 samples tested in the last 24 hours.
In the latest statistics, Nairobi County tops the list with 160 cases, followed by Kiambu with 19 cases.
No patient has succumbed to the disease in the latest report released by the Ministry of Health.
As of June 7th, 2022, a total of 18.3 million vaccines have been administered across the country.
Of these, 16.5 million are doses administered to the adult population. According to data from the Johns Hopkins COVID-19 Resource Center, over 533 million COVID-19 infections have been confirmed globally, with 6.3 million deaths being reported since the pandemic began.
All right, let's push this forward and take you to the opinion poll released today. Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya coalition presidential candidate Raila Odinga would win the elections if the polls were to be conducted today.
According to the latest report by research and consulting firm Infotrack, Raila is enjoying a 42% popularity rate compared to Kenya Kwanza's William Ruto, whose popularity is at 38%.
The poll further indicates that none of the two candidates would secure a 50% plus one vote to be declared an outright winner.
Raila would, however, lead in 20 counties against Ruto's 16.
Kenya Kwanza's presidential hopeful Dr. William Ruto's popularity has dropped from 42% on 9th May in the latest poll results released by Infotrack. Dr. Ruto's popularity is at 38%, while Raila Odinga's popularity stands at 42%.
Ruto has gone down, so his percentage is now at 38%. This probably tells us that the decision on running mate has worked to the disadvantage of one party, but has not significantly, as would have been expected yet, incrementally increased the popularity of another party. So Raila has maintained at 42%, which means that he's now leading, and Ruto has gone down from 42% to 38%.
The poll was conducted between 23rd to 27th of last month from a sample size of 9,000. According to the poll, Raila is leading in popularity in the Coast Region, North and Lower Eastern, Western and Nairobi. Ruto is leading in popularity in Isiolo, Mount Kenya and the South Rift. However, 11 counties have been marked as the battlegrounds for the two presidential candidates, including Tana River, Lamu, Turkana, Bungoma, among others. Azimio's Raila is leading in popularity by both the female and male genders, with 38% females saying they would vote him as the fifth president, while 37% are in support of the DP William Ruto. 45% of men would vote for Raila, while 39% would vote for DP Ruto.
Activities that are taking place now will result in his numbers going up, or that indeed the activities that Azimio is doing between Martha and Raila may indeed endear part of the strongholds of Ruto, endear to the women. We've seen that 25% of women are undecided. They've not yet made their decision as significantly as we would have expected.
According to the report by Infotrack, if 22.2 million people would vote today, Raila would lead with 9.3 million votes, while Ruto would garner 8.4 million votes. Odinga and Ruto are among 4 candidates cleared by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to vie for the presidency in the August 2022 polls. Frederick Muki for Prime Edition.
All right, let's stay with the developments on the road to the 2022 general election. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has pushed the certification and publication of the voters' register to the 20th of June.
The Commission says the exercise that was to be effected on the 9th of June will be delayed to facilitate a cleanup.
The Commission's chairman, Wafula Chebukati, says an audit they commissioned through audit firm KPMG has unearthed, among others, 246,465 deceased voters and 481,711 duplicate records.
The IEBC has however assured Kenyans of the Commission's commitment to undertake free and fair elections.
Due to the implementation of these preliminary audit findings on the register, the Commission has decided to address the findings prior to certifying the register for publication. So far, we have received 160 disputes which have been filed with the Commission, and the process of hearing disputes will commence on the 10th of this month. We expect that all disputes will be settled, and the Commission should commence preparation of ballot papers from the 30th of this month. We have a register of 22.5, over 22.5 million. I think, Gerald, you have the figures. That is the register we have, the raw data. There's no 1 million, there's no 800 removed from the register.
You can imagine. That's like about 700,000 voters that should be removed from that register.
Yeah.
And that is the revelation so far.
So more is to be expected. Anyway, let's give it time and see how IEBC, the final verdict of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission concerning the voters' register. Now, former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko is back at the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission seeking clearance to vie for the Mombasa gubernatorial seat.
Sonko says he has gone back with proof that he has a case pending in court in which he is battling his impeachment as Nairobi Governor.
Sonko has been told by Mombasa County Returning Officer Swalha Yusuf to wait for the decision on whether he will be given the green light to vie.
IEBC had denied the former governor clearance, arguing that he had been impeached for contravening Chapter 6 of the Constitution.
Original degree, it was supposed to be brought here so that they see it physically. So that one was done yesterday. The original degree was brought, and then the verification was done by the Kemu University Vice Chancellor. He sent an email direct to IBC, and a copy I have, Kusumiyangu, that the degree was verified and it was certified, and we gave them the original. But the only issue now is whether we have an active case before the Supreme Court. We delayed because we were waiting for the response from the Supreme Court of Kenya, which is here now. It has been signed by the Registrar of Supreme Court, Honorable Letizia Washira. So the returning officer has scanned these letters and sent them to the IBC officers in Nairobi. Once she gets a confirmation from the legal department, she'll call us. So tuambia wananchi wakuwe calm, watulie. Hii ni siasa, sio vita, sio wadui. So I'm not inciting anyone to go and cause chaos. Let's just relax, wait for the law to take its course.
Now on to Kenya Kwanza politics. Deputy President William Ruto says his administration will put to an end what he claims is continued marginalization of northern Kenya should he be elected president.
Deputy Ruto, who was in Mandera, said his government will seek to spread out development initiatives countrywide.
He said the northern region has potential that, if harnessed, can turn around the region's economy.
The Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate has spent the last 2 days traversing Garissa and Wajir counties. Though he presided over the Mandera Economic Forum Tuesday night, the deputy president spent Wednesday campaigning at different stops in the county, where he promised to end what he termed as continued marginalization of northern Kenya.
Vile wale wa Kenya wengine wanapatiwa ID na kitambulisho pamoja na passport, lazima watu wa Mandera na wa Somali wapatiwe kitambulisho na ID kama wa Kenya wengine.
The deputy president says his administration will also focus on the rule of law when dealing with criminal elements.
Na mambo ya kusemekana ati kuna Mkenya amepotea. Hakuna Mkenya wa kupotea tena. Kama kuna mhalifu lazima apelekwe kotini.
Ruto has also assured mitumba traders in the country of a conducive environment for their trade, pledging to collaborate with the traders to ensure the textile industry in the country thrives.
Serikali ya Kenya kupitia bottom up tutawaunganisha na TVET ili nyinyi ndio mtaendesha hiyo biashara, na tutawasaidia ili nyinyi ndio muwe investors wa clothing industry katika taifa letu la Kenya.
93% of the people of Kenya, they buy, they sell, they feed their children using the mitumba business.
Ruto using the occasion to dismiss an opinion poll released early Wednesday that shows him trailing behind Azimio leader Raila Odinga, saying he remains undeterred.
Hawa watu tumewashinda na njia zote. Tumewashinda na mpango, tumewashinda na sera, hawana chochote. Tutawashinda asubuhi na mapema tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8.
Right, and on that political note, we take a short break. But shortly, Kioria, you'll be delving deeper.
Yeah, when we come back, because you've seen the dynamics that are changing in the upcoming elections. One, a woman running mate, and you've seen, according to the polls, tilting the scales in terms of popularity of a candidate. But then also, Beatrice Elachi, the ODM candidate for Dagoretti North, because she will be the one we'll be talking to tonight. She was an added member of Jubilee, a biggest critic of Raila Odinga, now vying in Nairobi on an ODM ticket and supporting the candidature of Raila Odinga. That's the conversation tonight.
A day in politics is a long time.
You know.
In politics, no permanent enemies, no permanent friends.
Absolutely.
That conversation coming up shortly on Prime Edition. Do stay with us as we take a short break.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Kisii County is majorly known for its bananas and has been thriving on soapstone. Kisii candidates are gearing up for the next governor of this county. What is their agenda for Kisii? Don't miss the Kisii County gubernatorial debate from Kisii University this Thursday on the 9th of June, exclusively on KBC Channel 1 from 9:50 p.m. The National Youth Service will hold its pass-out graduation ceremony this Friday, 10th of June 2022. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta will be the guest of honor during the pass-out parade to be held at NYS Training College in Gilgil, Nakuru County. Follow the proceedings live on KBC Channel 1 this Friday from 9 a.m. NYS, go on, be great.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime Edition.
Now, the National Assembly is set to adjourn on Thursday, making the end of the 12th Parliament. Members of Parliament added a morning sitting Thursday in addition to the regular afternoon sitting in a bid to conclude on priority business.
On Wednesday, the House dispensed with at least 7 bills, including the Appropriations Bill.
It is a race against time for the 12th Parliament as its life comes to an end this Thursday. With several crucial bills and motions still pending, legislators this week have been forced to extend sittings past 7 p.m, with some spilling over to midnight. During the Wednesday morning sitting, the House leadership scheduled morning sitting on Thursday to enable the House consider priority bills related to the budget processing.
This House resolves to hold a morning sitting on Thursday, June 9th, 2022, that is tomorrow, commencing at 9:30 a.m. for purposes of considering priority business ahead of the Sinadie recess. One more session in the morning so that we process, especially matters of finance.
During the Wednesday sitting, the House expedited its business dispensing with at least 7 bills and reduced publication period for the Supplementary Appropriations Bill to allow for the House clear with it tomorrow.
Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Meanwhile, the National Assembly Watchdog Committee is warning heads of state corporations against signing off state assets without following the law. The Public Investment Committee 860-page report on financial statements of state corporations revealed how Treasury compelled state corporations to give out their asset as collateral for foreign contracts. The Senate is still scheduled to hold sittings until Thursday next week.
We have a state corporation that has geothermal wells, but the CS for Energy, who is in charge of giving the authority for that particular state corporation to supply power to Kenya Power and Lighting, decides to sit on that particular approval. As that is going on, the same department, ministry, is busy approving independent power producers who are selling power at a more expensive price, Mr. Speaker. Those decisions have to be reversed. The issue of Kenya Ports Authority's involvement on matters of Kenya Railway has to change, and that is the reason and the genesis as to why people of this country were being forced to use the SGR. The reason is exactly that, Mr. Speaker. KPA went and signed off. We were singing about this when we were being told that we were academic dwarfs. We were talking about this, Mr. Speaker, when we were being told that we do not know what we are doing.
For Prime Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.
And our First Lady Margaret Kenyatta has called on key stakeholders and Kenyans in general to help children with disability to actualize their potential and contribute to national development.
The First Lady, who was speaking in Litein, Kericho County, said children must be given top priority if the country is to attain provision of equal opportunity and inclusivity of all citizens in its programs. Nancy Okware reports.
Lady Margaret Kenyatta was at St. Kizito School for the Deaf in Litein, Kericho, to celebrate rehabilitation works funded by the Central Bank of Kenya and other partners. The First Lady underscoring the need to provide equal opportunities for all and the strength of diversity.
Meaningful transformation can only be achieved if we all come together to promote social and economic development of our children, mothers and families. There is recognized value and strength of diversity in a population, which is why our government has prioritized and committed to national and legal frameworks and policies that ensure resources are dedicated to promote diversity and inclusion.
The First Lady said her Beyond Zero initiative has played a vital role in complementing the efforts by the government to achieve inclusivity by advocating for equal access to healthcare and education for children living with disabilities.
Equal opportunity, accessibility, and inclusivity for children is a priority for me as it is for our government. Making inclusion work requires the right attitude the right planning, so that every child is provided with a fair chance to the right of a decent education.
The colors, the build, all the things, the facilities, obviously are a motivation for them. But I think the greatest source of motivation will remain is your visit.
When Kenyans come together and bring their hearts and minds and soul to every child, we can transform their learning facilities and environment so that they feel included.
Our children have capacity to compete with the able-bodied in all aspects of life, both in curriculum and co-curricular activities.
The journey to transform the school that has over 160 pupils began in 2016, following the institution's memorable performance at the Kenya Music Festival. Nancy Okwari, Prime Edition.
Well, it's time for us now to take the cinemas and theatre segment. Driven by the desire to join the Super League in fighting crime, two newly recruited police officers go out of their way to prove their worth.
Will they succeed? The parody that humorously exaggerates the cop action comedy genre is captured in the film Wembe Squad, a comic web series which is our focus in our weekly segment, Cinemas and Theatre.
Jacqueline Masharia takes us through the film.
Cinemas and Theatre. Brought to you by the Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya, Capture Africa.
Tukipita na msee, tunamfinya kwanza, alafu tunawahi do. Finya do.
Wembe Squad is a comic web series whose storyline revolves around two newly recruited police officers who have been eyeing to join the big league.
Crime law, mafia, deep state mse.
They must prove their skills after they find themselves at the center of Nairobi's criminal underworld.
Duru za kuaminika za tuarifu kwamba the Kibiriti Gang wamejirudisha uwanjani.
Produced by Chatterbox Film and Theatre, Wembe Squad features talented actors such as Ben Teke, Brian Ngaira, Esther Kazungu, Foy Wamboi, Lucy Wache and Justice Mirichi, just to mention a few.
Shukuru sagod wako sikupata, nikuitana mgeitana.
We had a fantastic cast for Wembe Squad. I mean, everybody, that's probably one of the best feedbacks we're getting, that everybody was right for their role. We had a fantastic set, it was good, it was fun. Guys were ready to work. I think also the script helped in giving guys that excitement and that psych to put their best foot forward.
According to John Jumbi, Wembe Squad available on base.co.ke.
Wembe Squad! Wembe Squad!
Tunakupata captain.
Mko sawa? Over?
Tuko poa.
Which is purposefully for entertainment, is a parody that humorously exaggerates the cop action comedy genre.
There's the buddy cop genre, which is a big genre even internationally, where you have two cops of very different personalities who have to work together. I wanted to write two characters who are having fun, all right, who are not quite competent about the job they're doing. They've been thrown into the deep end, but they have to come up with results. So it's kind of life, you know. Sometimes you don't have all the tools you need to do whatever is required from you, but you do it anyway. So I felt that those two characters kind of mirrored life in that regard.
It is no doubt the film industry locally has continued to buzz with amazing content, with filmmakers appreciating the tremendous growth witnessed while at it.
I think there's a lot of potential, and we are seeing it. There is a lot of storytelling, original storytelling coming out. I think it's a great time for filmmaking in Kenya, in East Africa, in Africa. We're at a great place. We're at a great place because I think now we are closer to the audience. Maybe 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. Now, because of digital mostly, we are so much closer to the audience. in terms of how they can access the films and how they can consume the films as well.
Jacqueline Masharia for cinemas and the theatre.
Gasket hiyo tumekataa.
Cinemas and Theatre. Brought to you by the Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya, Capture Africa.
Boresha maisha na bima. Maisha hayatabiriki, huenda kukawa na panda shuka. Iwapo utashindwa kulipia bima yako malipo ya kila mwezi, usiwe na wasiwasi. Zungumza na kampuni inayokupa huduma za bima ili ubadilishe bima yako kuwa bima iliyolipiwa tayari. Hutahitajika kuendelea kulipa malipo ya kila mwezi, japo kampuni inayokupa huduma za bima bado itawajibika kukulipa faida unayostahili katika chaguo hili. Pata bima ili kuhakikisha yote yatakuwa sawa.
Kufata mwenyewe ya kuuza insurance. Zio insurance mpaka uziuze ndo mimi nipate kitu.
Hayo hayakuhusu.
Yani husu manake mimi pia namtaka Dingo. Na kwa hivi sasa Dingo na Lea hawaelewani, wako vitani.
I'm not joking, Jackie.
And I had you the first time.
Mimi simtaki hapa kwangu. Yeye aende akatibiwe huko kwa mume wake.
Juhudi zako za kunikosesha mimi na matatizo zimefeli.
Good evening and thank you for keeping it Prime Edition here on Channel 1. Time now to do the business news. My name is Betty Kiptum. You can now sign up for free online digital training by logging on a portal established by the government targeting to offer 20 million Kenyans relevant digital and technical skills. ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru says the program will also cater to learners from grade 1 since coding has been included in the curriculum under the digital literacy program.
About 230 million jobs in Africa will need digital skills by the year 2030, while the value of Africa's internet economy is projected to more than double to over $200 billion within the next 3 years. Kenya now becomes the first country in Africa to implement a coding syllabus into the formal learning curriculum under the digital literacy program.
On the portal, which is citizentraining.icta.go.ke, that is the portal where you can be able to register to receive training. And now we have 1.9 million people working online. That number will grow, and we hope that number will be more than 10 million in the next 2 years. Because if those 1.9 million just train 10, then we'll be almost 20 million. So a big number can happen actually very quickly.
ICT skill development is really key for us. And the only way to achieve that is by starting at a very early age, whereby you introduce coding in grade 1.
Musheru says incorporating coding into fundamental learning during formative years is strategic for Kenya, adding that the government, in collaboration with the banking industry, plans to roll out a 3-year leasing program for devices in schools to solve the digital equipment shortage.
As opposed to buying them, and then after 3 years, we're looking at how do we, first of all, the end of life, sell them to buy new ones.
The program will take cohorts of 2 million Kenyans per year, with plans to cover 20 million Kenyans in the next 10 years.
This time we are talking of industrializing our country. This is the foundation now. Our children want to have given them the base.
All these initiatives call for serious partnership and collaboration among government, private sector,
and development partners.
The future is clearly digital, with the government's commitment in ensuring all Kenyans are equipped with relevant skills. We can harness the wonders of technology through relevant training. Hibak Said for Prime Edition.
Thank you, Hibak. The future is indeed digital now. The public will soon be able to pay for the use of the Nairobi Expressway using mobile money. The Kenya National Highways Authority says the operator of the expressway is working with various telcos to integrate mobile money payment solutions among the 3 available payment options. Kenha Director General Engineer Kungundungu further says 17,000 vehicles are using the road on an average daily since it was opened to the public on 14th of May.
Since the Nairobi Expressway was opened to the public on a trial basis on the 14th of May 2022, the road has experienced congestion on some exit ramps, especially at Museum Hill Loop. This has been blamed on the high number of those using the cash payment mode, with the data from Moja Expressway indicating that 65.5% of road users are paying via cash mode, which takes longer than the electronic and card options. According to the Moja data, electronic toll collection option is the second popular mode of payment, accounting for 25.8% of all payment. Manual toll collection users come last with 8.7%. The Kenya National Highways Authority Director General Engineer Kungundungu says to boost the number of electronic toll collection and manual toll collection centers, Moja Expressway plans to roll out more payment centers to complement the current 2 available, which are based along Mombasa Road and Lavington.
And we are encouraging most of the motorists, if not all of us, to migrate from cash payments to electronic payments. And electronic payments are available to any of us for any vehicle, including PSVs, where you install a unit that allows you to seamlessly go through the exit points, and similarly also at the entry points.
Kenha and Moja engineers are redesigning the Kenyatta Avenue Uhuru Highway Junction to erect another exit ramp towards the Central Business District and Valley Road.
Initially, we were to run around where we have the Green Park. But due to several difficulties, that was reconsidered. But now we are reconsidering introducing at least a ramp that drops in town. And we believe this will enhance convenience for many of us who will be moving towards the CBD and support the city center in terms of movement.
To facilitate pedestrian crossing, Kenha will construct 6 more bridges along the highway to complement the existing 4. The Kenha DG further says the rehabilitation of Mombasa Road is set to begin in a month's time. O'Brien Kimani for Prime Edition.
Now, the National Environment Management Authority has launched a plastic collection program in schools seeking to impart knowledge on environment conservation. The sustainability initiative, spearheaded by Nestle Company, seeks to transform ways of doing business and create positive change in the environment.
Climate change impacts result in socio-economic losses estimated at 3 to 4% of gross domestic product annually and impede development efforts. To help curb climatic changes, Nestle has rolled out the Re-Sustainability Initiative with the aim of minimizing environmental pollution. The program, focusing on rethinking, reducing and repurposing pollutants, will include activities such as water conservation, recycling and supporting environmentally responsible practices. The initiative will drive reduction across the food production value chain, including food and plastic waste and operational efficiencies that contribute to waste.
We are here to support or to work together with Nestle Kenya for purposes of equipping our learners with the necessary knowledge, skills, and change their attitudes so that they are able to take care of the environment, which is part of our education for sustainable development.
Climate change is a reality that we are facing, and it comes out of the practices that we as humans are doing. So I think it's for us to again adopt our initiative on RE, so that then we rethink on the decisions that we take. We repurpose all the materials and that we're using, our manufacturing practices, to make sure that then we are moving from a linear to a circular economy. And lastly is to just reduce the negative practices that impact the environment.
The 10 participating schools in Nairobi County will be engaged in plastics collection program around the schools and its environments as they embrace the need for an importance of conserving the environment. Reporting for Prime Edition, I am Teresa Mutayo.
That's it for the business news this evening. We shall be bringing you sports news after this quick break with Karen Kibet. My name is Betty Kiptum. Do enjoy your night. Bye-bye.
The National Youth Service will hold its pass-out graduation ceremony this Friday, 10th of June 2022. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta will be the guest of honor during the pass-out parade to be held at NYS Training College in Gilgil, Nakuru County. Follow the proceedings live on KBC Channel 1 this Friday from 9 a.m. NYS, go on, be great.
Top sports attractions on KBC Channel 1. In July, Kenya Morans face off against the DRC, Egypt and Senegal in the FIBA Basketball World Cup African qualifiers in Alexandria, Egypt from 1st to 3rd of July 2022. Also in July, Kenya plays South Africa in Rugby League test matches in Nairobi with the return fixtures set for October. Still in July, watch the World Athletic Championships from 15th to 24th July live from Oregon, USA as Kenyan athletes seek glory. Followed by the 22nd Commonwealth Games from 28th July to 8th August live from Birmingham, England. In August, join our coverage of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships from the 1st to 6th of August 2022 from Cali, Colombia. Then, in November, catch the World Half Marathon Championships on 13th November from Yangzhou, China. Now that's what sets us apart as KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. Let's now delve into sports matters. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, the Africa 100-meter record holder Ferdinand Omanyala and the national women 100-meter record holder Maximila Imali advanced to the finals of their 100 meters at the ongoing Africa Senior Athletics Championships in Raduit, Mauritius. Omanyala clocked 10.07 seconds to win his semi-final heat ahead of Gilbert Maseko of Namibia and Bibi Noah of Mauritius to qualify for the finals scheduled for Thursday. In the women's category, Maximila Imali finished third in her semi-final heat, clocking 11.70 seconds behind Karina Horn of South Africa and God Bless Timber of Nigeria, who finished first and second respectively. In other results, Wiseman Were finished third in the 110-meter hurdles after he clocked 13.89 seconds to breeze through to the finals. A total of 55 athletes are representing Kenya as they target to defend the title, which they bagged in 2018 in Nigeria. The continental showpiece will end on the 12th of this month. Moving on, with 50 days to the Commonwealth Games, former Kenya Sevens captain Andrew Amonde and Malkia Strikers captain Mercy Moim led a session of interaction with the Commonwealth Games bound squad, where the two athletes moved to encourage and motivate them ahead of the club games. The Commonwealth Games are scheduled for 28th July to 8th August 2022 in Birmingham, UK.
The event was hosted by the National Olympic Committee and provided a space where athletes shared knowledge on financial literacy, social issues, drugs and substance abuse.
Among some of the top athletes, and your preparation will count a lot. What you do back home, what you are going to do 50 days to the Commonwealth Games will count a lot as an athlete.
It's a long-term investment kwa sababu at the end of the day hiyo career itaisha na utaenda wapi after hapo. Hizo magari zitaisha, nyumba utakuwa unakaa, chakula utatoa wapi ama watu utapelekaje shule. So hiyo long-term investment ni kitu poa kwa sababu ni kitu unajua iko.
The athletes expressed hope of performing well at the Commonwealth Games, which they noted will be key in their fledgling careers. 123 Kenyan athletes have already made the cut at the 22nd edition of the Games, which Kenya has participated in since making her debut at the 1954 edition. Team Kenya has been camping at Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani, in readiness for the Games.
An educative session from people who've been in the platform before, people who've gone for the matches before, the big tournaments, of course. And coming from them, I think it's a good gesture that the young players at least understand now how things work and how you're supposed to handle yourself better.
Kenya is set to be represented in several sports disciplines, among them wrestling, judo, hockey, boxing, table tennis, and basketball.
Over 20 drivers have signed up for the 6th round of the National Autocross Championship, which will be held this weekend in Kiambu. Among the drivers who are expected to sustain their title hunt this season is 14-year-old Neil Gohil. Gohil came close last season, closing to Brandon Nganga after skipping a race due to personal commitments to narrowly miss the two-wheel drive junior non-turbo car class title. On Sunday, Neil will be looking to conquer Kiambu's twisty corners terrain up against round 5 winner Aman Gantara. Liverpool star Sadio Mane scored a penalty 8 minutes into added time to give Senegal a dramatic 1-0 win over heartbroken Rwanda on Tuesday in 2013 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying. Meanwhile, Comoros lost to Zambia 2-1 in Lusaka last night.
Senegal registered a dramatic 1-0 win over Rwanda on Tuesday in the 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifiers match. Sadio Mane rescued the Teranga Lions on 98 minutes with a hard, low penalty that eluded the outstretched hand of a goalkeeper Olivia Quizera. Mane has starred in the first 2 matches for the title holders, scoring 4 goals, including a match-day 1 hat-trick against Benin. Despite the huge rankings gap, Senegal took no chances against the Rwandan team, who have qualified for the Cup of Nations only once in 13 attempts. Elsewhere, Kings Kagwa rifled a free kick into the net on 88 minutes, to give Zambia a vital 2-1 win victory over Comoros in Lusaka. Former African champions Zambia achieved success the hard way, coming from behind in a fast tempo, foul-riddled regional showdown. Comoros wasted several early second-half chances to get in front again as Kagwa snatched a deserved victory.
Comoros look to steal in some terrible communication, and there is certainly an opportunity at goal, and it is excellently taken by the Coelacanths.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight. My name is Karen Kibet. My time to leave, but Jacob Kioria is on standby with an amazing interview with Beatrice Elachi. Jacob, take it away.
Thank you, Karen. It's time for us now to have a conversation on Extra Mile. And like I've been telling you, in studio tonight, we have Beatrice Elachi. She's the ODM candidate in Dagoretti North. You heard me right. ODM candidate. She's been majority whip in the Senate as a nominated senator, again as Speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi until she resigned. She joins us tonight to talk about the changing dynamics of the Kenyan politics as we head to the next elections. Senator, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You know, let's begin with the dynamics we're seeing and the change. First of all, why is there so much reception from, women voters when it comes to the declaration of Martha Karua as running mate for Raila Odinga? You've seen the polls today showing because of that very decision that his numbers are rising in terms of popularity.
Well, first of all, to thank all the women in Kenya.
Yeah.
And to really appreciate that, I think women, we have struggled since independence. we have talked about women issues. We've talked about the 2/3 gender rule, and I think the excitement comes out to see that. First of all, let us appreciate also Tanzania. When Suluhu came in, I think everything just changed in East Africa. You find that in Uganda also Museveni has a vice president who is a woman. And so I think that excitement is there, that now Kenya being the economic bloc of East Africa and now coming in, always have struggled with the issues of 2/3 gender rule while other countries have been moving forward. So it brings Kenya to a different map, and it appreciates that process that women have indeed, and it's our time. And all I want to tell women, let us appreciate that, let us work around it, and let us see how we change our country, especially when we are coming out of post-COVID. And I can see today in the news that yes, COVID is also just coming back. And so we really need to really work together to ensure that as much as we have the challenges that we have, both men and women on the table, the issues we've been talking about parity, equity, in terms of development, in terms of improving lives of people, I think when they are both on the table, Baba and Mama, it will be better.
Let's cascade this down. Having the debate of the 2/3 gender rule obviously starts when you are a senator in the Senate, goes to the county assembly, and then happens to be the CAS gender.
Yes.
Looking at this election, the number of candidates that are vying, and I'm talking about women candidates in this election, do you think we are anywhere close to achieving that 2/3 gender rule?
Well, first of all, kudos to every woman who is going to this election and who has been cleared by IEBC. And indeed, I think for us, after we've looked at the numbers, I think after IEBC gazettes the names, we'll be able now to come and answer that question in a proper way. That are we moving to the right direction? Are we able to achieve? And even if we don't achieve, but I know the percentage will go high. And therefore it means we'll have reduced the numbers of nominations, which every Kenyan has been really pushing, that we want to see women who are participating to the ballot, and women who are being elected. For those women who are in political parties that are within the regions that we know, these are the political parties that work within that region, I want to humbly really request the voters that let us vote in women. And women, as we take this mandate, let us change the lives of our people. Let us be sure and be honest to be accountable to what we have been given. And I think that is my prayer, and that is what we are going to do. I think as women, we are always judged at a very high bench, but when you look at all constituencies that we've had women, we've seen change. And so I believe there will be change.
Do you think the narrative is changing, looking at this election?
Yes.
We've seen quite a number of male governors or male aspirants picking woman deputies. Do you think the narrative is changing? Far from what we had 5 years ago.
Yes, the narrative is changing, and the good thing is that the colleagues, the governors who are vying now, most of them have proved that yes, you need both genders, and it helps. As I said, when you sit on a table where you have both men and women, the men will look at the issues that affect the country. The women will look within the lens, a lens of gender, a lens that brings in soft power, a lens that talks about water where women are the ones who struggle to get water, a lens that talks about women empowerment in small SMEs and trade. Women are the ones who do those trades. A lens that looks differently at the health sector, because women in maternity, women with children, pediatricians, all these things you bring on the table, you look at it at a different lens. And so we balance. So what the men will believe, I know men will believe in infrastructure, they will talk about the roads. Yes, we talk about the roads, but we talk about the roads in a very different way. That yes, we want the roads that will see our people take their trades, their to market their goods and all that. But at the same time, women will look at things that men do not look at. And those are the things that change the social fabric that we have. We will look at issues that are affecting children. We look at issues that are affecting our children who are with special needs. And so beyond what we see on the table, women will bring something very different that you don't see on the table, but it really affects the
You're
society.
one among the women candidates running in this election, obviously running in Dagoretti North. It's a seat you ran for in 2017 on a Jubilee Party ticket. But I'm interested in, having been a loyalist of President Uhuru Kenyatta
and
all through your political life,
yes,
now you're vying on an ODM ticket.
Oh yeah.
What has Nairobi politics
and I'm
got?
also a very good loyalist of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. And one thing I would say, you see, and that is one thing I know many of my opponents use on the ground in Dagoretti North. But the most important thing is after the handshake, and I think that's when I stood with Baba and I said, you know what? Baba has done everything for this country. He has come in now and he has stood with the president. It will be very unfortunate for anyone to try and come and joke with Baba or even just try and be dishonest to him. And so from 2018, I think we have worked with Baba very closely. He has guided me in so many things. He really stood with me in the county assembly. And there was nothing else I would have given Baba, because it's only my honesty, my accountability, and to stand with him to the end. And the good thing with Beatrice Elachi is that going beyond, and as I said, and I've always said, this is Baba's end, not just Baba, but this is what God has prepared for Baba. I mean, it's not his strength, it's not nothing, but it's God's will to see him lead this country. And for us, as I stood with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, I will stand with my Baba to the end. To the end, just the way I've stood with my president. Yes, because I've always said I respect the institutions we have. One of the things we have to respect is the presidency. And that is why I've stood with my president. And I've always said he's the one with the sword. Until the day he hands over the sword is when now you move on. That's the best respect we can ever give him. He will have his own mistakes. He will have, but one thing about him also, he appreciates. And he asks for forgiveness. Same way with Baba. Baba has had his share, but the one thing he has done is to believe in this country and to dedicate himself that he would want to see a better Kenya. And especially his economic liberation, his economic pillar in terms of transforming, Baba will do it.
All right. He will do it. All right. Talking about Dagoretti North, because the dynamics in 2017, well, that is you were vying against ODM, on a Jubilee Party ticket.
Yes.
And you're vying against Simba Arati. Simba Arati has moved to Kisii.
And I wish
now
him
you're
well as the governor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about how the dynamics have changed from 2017 to now.
Well, one of the things is that we competed with Simba, and I respect him because we did our campaigns with a lot of push and pull, but one of the things we respected is peace. And I just want to ask the young people of Dagoretti North, I think peace is very important. And for me, it's my prayer that we will do an election, finish this election, and after 9th of August, people will go back to their work. That we will not see people burning kiosks of people, anything. I think it will be one of those peaceful elections that we have not seen, and that is my prayer. And so when we look at the dynamics, is that, okay, fine, some of the ODM members feel they always call me, this is a Jubilee mall. They forget that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is also a Jubilee person, and he has pushed until where he is. He has stood so firm to stand with Baba. So I just want to tell them, do you know in politics we have no enemies? We don't have enemies. We have interests. And I am hoping that our opponents can understand the interest. That is what is the most important. It's not about, I was even told, one day I was really, really taken off by, I won't say the name, one of the ODM leaders in Dagoretti North. And, he told me, first of all, we don't believe in you because you don't even put on an orange dress. You don't you're just a user. You've come to use. You've come to do this. And he really talked. It was a delegates meeting, and I kept quiet, and I said, he has his right to say that. I have no issue. But the most important thing is that we will stand in Dagoretti North. People in Dagoretti North believe in ODM. And indeed, even in 2017, I remember, and I'll say it in Kioria, when we came to now the real election, the date of the election, many of our lawyers, they respected, and they told me, Mom, we've always told you, you're in a wrong party. Now see, we have to vote for Baba. And I respected that. And I've really saluted them because, do you know what? They believe in Baba and they respect in Baba. And I believe they believe in the values of Baba. And so, even when I was joining and supporting ODM from 2018, again, I had issues with Jubilee because they used to tell me, nah, the MCS of Jubilee said, no. Elachi is more ODM than Jubilee. And so
that is in the assembly.
In the assembly. And it was just an issue. And I remember my governor used to say, this one is now ODM. So, but I really thank the ODM MCS because they stood with me. But also the Jubilee ones who believed in what we were doing and how we brought in Badi. There were very few, but they supported. But in the end, I think Jubilee has now also seen they had leaned so much on the other side, and they have gone now. We just want to appreciate.
And the governor has since moved to
to Mombasa, and I wish him well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, as Serfine comes in, so we wind up. You've spoken passionately about your bid for Dagoretti North.
Yes.
What are your 3 immediate priorities in Dagoretti North?
The first in Dagoretti North, education. I think I've stood with this education because I believe education allows you to sit on the table with any person in the world. And for me, education, when I look at the young people in Dagoretti North, especially the schools, one of the things I am hoping we have to do as members of parliament is to ensure we have feeding programs, especially within the areas that we feel really children need food. And because of post-COVID, we have to. The second is economic empowerment. We have very many young people. I would wish some of them, and we must get a polytechnic. We must build one. And I know I have gone already around. I have a few sponsors who would wish. We are just trying to see how we work together. I've also asked other business partners who are within Dagoretti North, how do we partner together and do a polytechnic so that we can have young people having skills, those who want to go back to different programs of plumbing, of welding, of mechanic, they go so that they can have their own employment. Women to go back to trade. Health, very critical.
The third one.
The third one, and that touches also on border to ensure at least each parent in Dagoretti North has an NHIF card, where we will partner with Baba Care also. But I'll follow, and I really pray that we will do that for the people of Dagoretti North as we move in with people with disability, and ensure also security becomes an issue where we can do and work together. I know Baba was saying yesterday in Kajiado, where I was, and it's something we need to do. Community policing is very critical, where young people work together for services, not to fight with the police.
All right, we need to wind up this interview as Serfine comes in. Of course, Beatrice Elachi had told me she enjoys what we do. And because the outtake is a bit far, I'll just give you this script very quickly. And try be Serfine Achieng. And look at that camera number 2.
I'm here to vet. I want to see how good the job you will do.
Okay, do it.
Well, thank you very much. The First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta, has called on key stakeholders and Kenyans in general to help children with disability to actualize their potential and contribute to national development. The First Lady, who was speaking in Litein, Kericho County, said children must be given top priority if the country is to attain provision of equal opportunity and inclusivity of all citizens in its program.
Fantastic. I think I like it. When you retire from politics?
I got back to
here. She got me at the body language. Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Senator Beatrice Elachi, now vying in Dagoretti North as Member of Parliament on an ODM ticket. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank
Just
you.
still so we wind up the policy.
Yeah, thank you so much for creating time for us, catching the latest on Prime Edition. My name is Serfine Achieng Oma, and on the sign language interpretation has been Lucy Mwaura, and of course our co-anchor for the night.
Oh yes, and my name is Beatrice Elachi from Dagoretti North.
Have a good night.
Have a blessed night.
All right.
Kisii County is majorly known for its bananas and has been thriving on soapstone. Kisii candidates are gearing up for the next governor of this county. What is their agenda for Kisii? Don't miss the Kisii County gubernatorial debate from Kisii University this Thursday on the 9th of June, exclusively on KBC Channel 1 from 9:50 p.m. The National Youth Service will hold its pass-out graduation ceremony this Friday, 10th of June 2022. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta will be the guest of honor during the pass-out parade to be held at NYS Training College in Gilgil, Nakuru County. Follow the proceedings live on KBC Channel 1 this Friday from 9 a.m. NYS, go on, be great.
Top sports attractions on KBC Channel 1. In July, Kenya Morans face off against the DRC, Egypt and Senegal in the FIBA Basketball World Cup African qualifiers in Alexandria, Egypt from 1st to 3rd of July 2022. Also in July, Kenya plays South Africa in Rugby League test matches in Nairobi with a return fixture set for October. Still in July, watch the World Athletic Championships from 15th to 24th July live from Oregon, USA as Kenyan athletes seek glory. Followed by the 22nd Commonwealth Games from 28th July to 8th August live from Birmingham, England. In August, join our coverage of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships from the 1st to 6th of August 2022 from Cali, Colombia. Then, in November, catch the World Half Marathon Championships on 13th November from Yangzhou, China. Now that's what sets us apart as KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Whatever you're doing, you're fired. Why are you testing my patience? Watch your mouth, young lady. Were you May's older than you? You don't think you hired her? It's your boyfriend who should be happy.
Well, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence,
really can't.
You have won even before you started. You know? And the people without knowledge of their past history, origin or culture, it's like a tree without roots. So we just have to unite for a common cause, right? I know it. Well, if you have no confidence in yourself, Well, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you started. You know? And the people without knowledge of their past history, origin or culture, it's like a tree without roots. So does not unite for a common cause, right? I know it's wrong, I know it's tough, but we are gonna march to the victory gate. Although it's hard, yeah, and abroad, we are gonna march to the victory gate. Hands and hearts, fruitful thoughts, come make we march to the victory gate. No more fighting, just united, make we march to the victory gate. When the going gets tough, me said the tough gets going. We have to find the methodology that is working, cause the news that's coming in from across the world is disturbing. Unscrupulous devils inoculating the children.
I go care, fear no man, and I feature behind them brain. I rather run and get a scale and go and praise King Selassie and tell. And prophecy fulfill, heard man a tell, voice man a bell, chant and a sing. You know I will, go bit off the fame, and I shall ice me say me not join him. I buy the sweat off you bro, I got them fi know, me say fi do something good today.